So today is very, very awesome day. Today is a day that I was waiting for the past 2 years. Why is it so special? Why is it so unique? In 2009, I clearly remember on February 16th sitting down, and after hearing a principle in the old scripts, and it said there it said to the effect of find wisdom, search for it, and pay whatever price to find it. And when you get it, don't give it away. And that struck a chord in me. It really struck a chord in me. And that night, I remember sitting and thinking, and I said, I wasn't just, well, I thought a lot. And then I decided, and I made a commitment. And my commitment was to do exactly what it said, to give any price to find, seek, and search wisdom, to become what I'm supposed to become. At that point in life, I was already asking the question, what am I supposed to do in this life? What am I supposed to accomplish? And in asking that question since I was 18, and that's 10 years ago, I was led up to 2009 when I finally made that decision in my heart. I will pay whatever price I had to find it, to find the answer to the question. Initially, I didn't know what question I was really searching for. I just said, I'm going to go wherever I know I have to go and not be a chicken about it. And so, in 2009, I was sitting there and I made that decision. From that point on, I moved over a dozen different times. I lived in Massachusetts and New York and Albany and a few areas around the Albany area. Then I moved down to Savannah, Georgia, and for 3 years I moved for half a year down south and up north and down south. And then finally, from 2009 up until 2012, I was doing a lot of things, and for one reason, to figure out who am I and what am I here to do? What is my thing, as some would call it? What is that thing I need to accomplish? What is my mission? What is the task I came here to accomplish? And so, in 2012, after I moved down to Savannah, Georgia, 2 years ago, on this very week, right around this day, actually, I believe, if I remember correctly, I got a phone call. And that phone call was a friend. Well, my sister called to tell me that a friend has taken his life. And that hit me hard. And actually, I was watching his story unfold, and I just didn't know how to help. I wanted to, but I did not know how to help. And so, I was just shocked. I didn't know what to say or what to do. A half an hour later, I call another friend, a completely different family friend. And lo and behold, I find out that his brother took his own life too. So within half an hour, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was just sitting there in a daze. I just couldn't snap out of it. I couldn't snap out of it because it reminded me of 2008 when my brother-in-law's sibling also took his life. And I knew him. I worked with him. And it hurt because I know that many people, all they need, I think every one of us experienced that, all we need is just a little bit of encouragement. When that weekend came, that weekend was when all the funerals, when both of the funerals happened. And that Saturday, they were both Saturday funerals, and that day I went to a coffee shop, and I knew the manager there, and I knew the people that worked there, became friends with them. I went there when it opened up, early in the morning, 6 in the morning I went there. I sat there till 12 at night, thinking and thinking and thinking. And it wasn't until later on that day that I was just sitting there wondering, what is it? That day I clearly remember I was sitting there, what is it what is this teaching me? What am I to learn? What am I to do? I know there is something that I have to do. And the answer came in the form of a thought. And it was like a conversation in my head. And I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. Most of you have those, you like have conversations in your head with yourself, or whatever you like to believe with who it is, but I had it. And as I did, I'm like, Alex, I asked myself, what do I need to be doing? And the thought, encourage people. Because prior to that, for the past 2 years before that, I was writing letters to family and friends and people that I knew all across the globe, just encouraging them, saying thank you to them and letting them know that their life made a difference in mine. And then that thought came to mind, hey, Alex, why don't you write letters of encouragement? I was like, okay. To who? You don't need to know to who. Just write them. Yeah, but who would I send him to? I asked. Well, send him to random people. What? Random people? Are you really? Are you for real? Yeah, I'm for real. You write them. You want to help people? Here's your next step. Start writing letters of encouragement to absolutely random people and send them out. I was like, okay, I can do 10 in a day. Then why don't you? Then I thought to myself in my mind, I'm like, I could do that pretty fast. How about I do 100? Yeah, 100. Ooh, 100 gives me the heebie-jeebies. That's a little out of my comfort zone. And then I thought back again. How about you actually commit to something out of your comfort zone? And I was like, come on, are you crazy? 100 to random people? That's already crazy enough. Yeah. How about you do 1,000 letters? I was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. And then I thought about it and I realized, you know what? If I do 3 letters a day, I will be able to do that in 1 year. And so, after a little bit of thinking, contemplating, I committed to doing 1,000 letters. I came back that night, that very day, that night I started writing the letters. It took me over an hour a letter, and I couldn't believe my mind what I committed to. And I had to recommit myself again. I was like, well, if I have to wake up earlier and go to bed later just to get them done, and it'll take me 3 hours every day, I'll do it for the next 365 days. A few days later, I was 9 letters behind. And then I sat down, I remember at that pool, and I said, I'm either catching up today or I'm giving up completely, because it's either or, nothing in between. I sat that day and I blew myself away. I was forced to focus what encouraging things is life actually giving me. And I caught up. As the story progressed, I almost gave up a quarter of the way, a halfway, 3/4 of the way, and like at letter 900, I almost gave up again. I had that same experience. So I was like up and down. Needless to say, instead of doing it in half a year, by December 8th, I finished all 1,000 letters. I learned how to focus in, and I was shocked at how much it was an exciting journey, because I learned something. I learned that life actually gives a lot of encouraging things to you on a daily basis, only if we learn to focus. Sorry, there's somebody mowing outside here. Hold on, actually. Yes. So, as I was saying, then I finished. I finished in December 8th. It was half a year later I ended. It took me over 2,000 hours to write them. And people just said some of the silliest, and if I wasn't prepared, you can't prepare for it. You just got to take it as it comes. And it did hit me. People are like, you wasted 2-something thousand hours on your letters, and I recorded how long each one took. Just, I don't know why I did, but I did. And they're like, you could have made so much money, Alex. Why did you waste that time? Other people would ask me, what am I doing? And I tell them, they're like, that's pretty retarded. That's weird. That's awkward. And yeah. And they'll just make a face like, oh, like, what's wrong with that guy? And they'll just leave. Family or friends that I knew would just ask me why this color, and I would tell them, they're like, why didn't you do it the color of crap? It's brown, blah, 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 and all this stuff. But I kept on going because I knew that that's all I knew what was my next step. And I did it. And when December 8th came, I was like, woohoo, I'm done early. I can send them out and be done with it. But that voice came back and said, hold on to them. Just hold on to them. And so I did. And I held on to them. And I held on to them. I tried going back to these letters and opening them, but I couldn't. And just that voice was like, Don't look at them. Wait till I give you the go-ahead again. Took 2 years. And here I am, back to where I knew that next step. So the first step was to writing. The next step came 2 years later. But in between those 2 years, so many things have happened. I've learned so many things. I kept 1,000 letters within probably 500 feet of me for the last 2 years. I was committed to figuring out, what is life trying to teach me? What do I need to be doing? And that's what it took to get me to where I am today, here, right now. And so this, I knew all along that at one point I'm going to have to start sharing this with people. And I have been one-on-one level, but now I've been challenged, I feel, by life itself to start doing this at a worldwide scale, if I may say. And so I decided to create this YouTube channel, and eventually I'll explain why this particular color and why I did this, and there'll be more details later on as you continue watching. Honestly, today, right now, I've finished reading my first 20 letters. I'm going to be posting this. Why? Because those who get these letters, I really want them to know what I did, and that it did come from a person, and I don't want anything back. I just want to encourage them. And in doing that, and sending out these letters and reading them, I want to encourage, not just be encouraged myself, not just encourage another person, but to encourage every single person that comes across these videos. And if they've impacted you, share it with people, subscribe, and yeah, just share it with anybody that really needs encouragement. This is my journey, this is my path, and that is what I will be doing with all my heart. And this is how I help humanity. And this is the journey I've chosen to take. And I hope it helps you, encourages you, and encourages you to pursue your dreams. So to wrap up the introduction, I would like to finish off with this. Out of this journey that I had in the last 2 years, 2 incredible things came out of it. Eventually you will learn about RO, Random Orange, which is the name of this YouTube channel, Neo Random Orange, how that came about and what that's all about. And also the concept I dubbed You, capital Y-O-U. I'm not going to start talking about it all right now, because I think just like it came to me over a period of time, I'd like to lead you through the journey that I had to finding them. So wishing you the best, and welcome to the journey.